Hi guys, welcome back to our next session, a special session which will be tackling all about a problem related to statement of financial position. So this problem was sourced from Oberita way back 2013 but I changed the date to 2020 para naman medyo malapit sa current date. So let's start with reading the problem. The relevant accounts and adjusted balances shown below were taken from Gradual Company's trial balance on December 31, 2020. Cash deposits in banks, 300,000 pesos. Gold bullion deposited in banks, 2 million. Trade accounts receivable, 1,400,000. Investment in debt securities, 3 million. Investment in equity securities, 1,600,000. Investment in equity instrument with significant influence, 2,400,000. Prepaid expenses, 120,000. Finance lease payable, 250,000. Deferred revenue, 120,000. Trade payable, 650,000. Provision for estimated litigation loss, 420,000. Issued debt instrument, 1.8 million. Issued equity instrument, 2,900,000. So question 1, what total amount of financial instrument assets that are within the scope of IAS 32 and IFRS 9 should Gradual Company report for the year 2020? So first of all, we need to determine alin dito yung assets. So cash deposits is an asset. A na lang po lagay natin. Gold bullion deposited in banks, that's still asset. Then trade account receivable is assets. Investment in debt securities is asset. Investment in equity securities is also an asset. Investment in equity instrument with significant influence, it's an asset. Prepaid expenses, assets. Finance lease payable, that's liability. Deferred revenue, that's liability. Trade payables is liability. Provision for estimated litigation loss is liability. Issued debt instrument is liability. Issued equity instrument is an equity account. Next. Our problem now, next problem is identifying if pasok ba siya as financial instrument or not. So pag financial instrument, FI lagay natin. Pag non-financial instrument, NFI. So cash deposit in banks is considered as a financial instrument. Gold bullion deposited in banks is not considered as financial instrument. Trade account receivable is considered financial instrument. Investment in debt securities is also a financial instrument. Investment in equity securities is also a financial instrument. Investment in equity instrument with significant influence is also a financial instrument. Prepaid expenses is a non-financial instrument. Okay, so finance lease liability is also a financial instrument. Deferred revenue is a non-financial instrument. Trade payables is a financial instrument. Provision for estimated litigation losses is a non-financial instrument. Issued debt instrument is a financial instrument. Issued equity instrument is a financial instrument. Now, the other items that we need to understand if pasok pa siya sa IAS 32 or hindi. Kasi yun po ang tanong. So, dagdagan natin sa right column. So, lahat po ng FI, lagyan natin ng check pagpasok siya sa IAS 32. So, cash deposit in banks, correct. So, pasok po siya sa IAS 32. Gold bullion, hindi po. Trade account receivable, pasok. Investment in debt securities, pasok. Investment in equity securities, pasok. But, for investment in equity instrument with significant influence, under po siya ng IAS 28. Kaya hindi po siya pasok sa IAS 32. Whereas in finance lease payable, the finance lease is a financial instrument, but it's under the scope. Still, they are under IAS 32, which is pasok, but hindi siya pasok sa PFRS 9. Again, hindi siya pasok sa PFRS 9. Ayun. Deferred revenue, hindi kasali. Financial instrument, correct. Pasok pa din po siya. Then, issued instrument, pasok. Ayan po. So, therefore, we can preliminarily answer na question 1 and question 2. Kasi, at least yung question 2, liabilities ang tanong. So, we can actually answer it na. Okay. For question 1, we can already answer. So, let's create another table. Okay. So, we will now choose those under financial instrument assets na under sa IAS 32 as well as IFRS 9. So, we have cash deposits in banks. So, lagay natin. Trade accounts receivable. Yung assets lang po ha. Investment in debt securities. Then, investment in equity securities. So, total po natin yan. That's total of that's 300 plus 1.4 plus 3 million plus 1.6. So, all in all, that's 6,000, 300,000. Yan. So, therefore, the answer for letter A, number 1, is letter B. Then, for number 2, so, financial instrument na liabilities. So, we have, so hindi po kasali si finance lease kasi hindi po siya scope ng PFRS 9. So, we have trade payables and issued debt instruments. So, therefore, that's 650 plus 1.8. So, the answer is 2,450,000. So, the answer for number 2 is letter C. Ayan po. So, kailangan po itong isipin na for this problem, it's very essential po na dahan-dahanin natin yung pag-process ng problem. For example nito, classify muna whether asset or liability, then equity. Classify muna if FI or non-FI. Then consider muna if pasok ba siya sa standards na hiningi. Pero pag wala yung standards, so for example, sabihin lang na total of financial instrument asset, then kasali na po yung investment in equity instrument with significant influence. Okay? Pareha din po siya for the liability section. Okay, so yun po. O sino nagsabing mahirap ang accounting? I-like na at mag-subscribe sa Accounting Wizard at sabay-sabay nating i-perfect ang accounting po. See you next session. This is Ken Enriquez signing off.